Hey, what up, Dave?
Hey YouTube, it's your boy Dave and Chris. Sorry,
Do
I was just trying to YouTube. Hey guys,
Hey
welcome
guys.
to another. I don't know.
Yeah,
We gotta work on that. We gotta get our intro down, bud.
yeah. We got to get our intro down. I'm glad that took a minute anyway. It looked like it took a minute to start the screen sharing here. Let's, if we haven't started it in the video yet, let's start up the screen sharing. We're looking at Zach Leat's blog, our friend Zach Leatherman, coming at you live from the Midwest, Captain 11D. But also a fan of web components, and I thought, hey, maybe Dave would get a kick out of this too, because this is a web component that Zach put out, and I thought of the other day, and then reached for it to use it because I was like, hey, why not, right? So check out what it is, right? So Zach's saying, I love details. I love details too. I think it's pretty sweet. It's like they call it a disclosure widget, but there's not a lot of stuff in HTML where you get a functionality like open close for free.
Yeah,
Let's just take a look at that real quick. I'm sure people have seen this, but details, summary, whatever, information, that's what goes on the triangle. And then whatever else you put in here, it becomes available, right? So,
in a drop downy kind of thing. Yeah, right.
boom. And you
Yeah,
can
it's weird.
style
You don't
this.
even need an element. You just can put text in there. It's kind of wild. So
Yeah, you don't even need this necessarily because then it'll just say, what'll it say? Details.
details.
Yeah, incredible. That, but you know, probably you want to control that, and this is even style, right? You can go font weight bold or something, and it will make that bold, and the rest of it not. You have a lot of control over that. But you know, Zach comes along and he publishes this, and I was like, this is amazing. It's like adding functionality to details that you didn't even know you needed. But here's Zach. He's saying, here's the list. Force open closed. Well, you can kind of already do that with, you can just put like open, and then it's open. I know that was not the most. Here, if I refresh the whole thing, look, it's open by default.
Open
Great,
by default.
cool. But it's not that. It's force open and closed at breakpoints. And that's actually the one that I'm most interested in at the moment. So we'll use that in a minute. But think of these other ones. Click outside to close. And let's open his demo while we're at it. So like, here's click outside to close. Look, I'll just click up here. Boop, closed.
You don't get that with the normal details. That's
No, you
a
don't. And it's a nice UX thing. Like, think of, I don't know how much of my screen you can see. Like, if I was opening, yeah, I don't know. It's like almost every menu in the world behaves that way. Think of your operating system menus and things like that.
Yeah, like there's a post by Adrian Roselli called "Details Summary is not a insert thing here,"
Yeah, and
and
menus probably one of them.
one of them is a menu, and part of that is because it doesn't have like click close outside or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
And yet
I
here's
think
Zach saying, like, I use them for menus all over the place. And
yeah.
literally the navigation on netlify.com is details.
See, and I love that because you know what? That's not gonna fail. You know what I mean? And so and the escape one, the close on escape. I think that was the next feature, right? But like, you
Well,
know,
close from with a button, which is nice. But yeah, close on
oh,
escape is in here somewhere. Or maybe it just, oop, does it just work? No, you gotta
it must be a certain one,
find
but
ESC.
yeah,
Where is it, dude? It's in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Boop.
yeah,
Boop. I know you're not seeing my keyboard, but that one works just fine. That's nice. And if you add both of those things, then you're in like accessible territory with your menu all.
yeah. I mean, just even user expectations. Like, I can't tell you how many navigations I've coded, and people are like, "It's not closing when I click outside," and you're like, "Oh, you didn't ask for that," but
Yeah.
I guess I'll figure out
That's
bind
not
a click to the document body and blah blah blah. Like
right.
it's
And
not my
then
favorite thing to do.
yeah, it's not it's not. It's not that hard, but it is definitely like a, well, that's kind of important because now for the rest of your life, you have to think about how events propagate on this website. The one, like I said, the one I was most interested in is this force open and force close idea, and then you pass it a breakpoint, and presumably in JavaScript, it's doing a match media kind of thing, and then applying or closing that open attribute, which is awesome. That's just what I wanted, and I'll show you why in a minute. But let's use the thing. So Zach's saying, look, it's on GitHub. Thanks, Zach. Pretty cool. I'm gonna star it for you. Ooh, one more, Dave. We'll hit 150.
Oh, let me get it. Let me get it.
Get on that. And he's saying, okay, it's on NPM too, but look at the docs, thank God Zach wrote some docs. Look at, we're already on V2. That's nice. But there's no like API. I mean, the API is HTML attributes. You know what I mean? Like there's no JavaScript API. So it just
Right.
instantiates itself. And you can kind of just look at this and see that. Like he's not asking you to call details.ready or or something, you know.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of implied. Although I think it probably could use a spelling out of that more clearly, but whatever. And he says, "Oh, look, it's on npm too. Same documentation. That's just how it works. But it's available at this location."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like, well, how do you use this thing exactly again? You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm on this page. I view source, and I'm like, I don't know. He just loads it up. In this case, it's script type equals module, and there's the class. So
Mm-hmm.
fine,
Mm-hmm.
that's one way to do it. But I'm like, then I have to download a copy of it and deal with it myself. Is there
Right.
an
Right.
easier way to do that? And yeah, because it's on npm, you can just kind of snag it, right? So I was looking at this website the other day, esm.sh. It's one of those, it's a little bit like Skypack, but I was playing with this
Okay.
one instead. And you
Yeah.
just put if you put slash React on it, there's a copy of React, but made for ESM imports.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So that's good. And I know behind the scenes it's powered by Go and it's runs ESBuild. It just
Mm-hmm.
grabs the thing off npm, runs it through ESBuild, and gives it to you. You know, so rock and
Yeah.
roll. So here's, instead of React, here's Zach's thing. Burp. Oh, it ran it through ESBuild, and here it is. So and there's internal URLs that you don't want to mess with and stuff. But you could even go like, I think you can go at latest and stuff like that if you want to pin versions of it, which is probably smart. But okay, now we have a copy of that we can import. Let's just import it. Import what? Do you import a thing, or do you import like star as Dave from this or whatever? Turns out because you don't need to call anything, you can just bare import it.
Oh, okay.
So just
Interesting. Yeah.
import rock and roll. Now you got it. And Zach did, he does make clear that what you do is you wrap Details-Utils around one or more details elements to get this functionality. So the
Mm-hmm.
trick is you don't just start messing with details, you wrap it. And that dash in there is, I'm sure, morally super familiar to you. That's a web component we're looking at
Yep.
because of the dash and whatnot. You could even dig into the source code and see how it extends an HTML element and all that. And this is where we control what's going on there. So let's look at the demos again. How is click outside to close working? Can we just see it in the DOM probably?
Yeah. Probably it's like click outside, close
Yeah.
click outside, and then that's all you
So if
need. You
I
may want to, yeah. Yeah. There you go.
if I open it, click out here, it's closed. So that's proving that this is working and this
Yep.
is working. So cool. Here's the use case I had in mind. I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
do it reminds me of that video that we did about the spicy sections or whatever. Like at a certain
Yeah.
breakpoint, I want it to be open or closed.
Yep.
So let's just copy one of his to see one of these force open or closed. So let's force close it when it's min width 6, whatever. That seems fine.
You maybe want to max width, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was like. That seems weird to
Okay.
close it when you have more room.
You may want to take off that open just to make sure we don't get confused on where it's.
Yeah,
There you
that's a
go.
good point.
Okay.
So if it's open, it will close it when you get small, right? Yeah. Oop.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
So if it's open and then I got small, it would close it. That's cool. I almost like the explicitness of having both. So
Mm-hmm.
so you'd force it open at a min width of, don't overlap them, separate it by
That
a
would, yeah,
pixel.
get in a fugue state. That would be great.
Yeah. So
Glitch.
it's open when it's big, it's closed when it's small. Boop, 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 boop.
Hey, I feel like you want that. I mean, I was in a conversation about like spicy section stuff, and it's like Wikipedia does this sort of with their like articles. Like if you go they have a whole mobile website that just renders like headings all collapsed and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
but then on desktop it's all blown out.
Yeah.
Maybe that's all this is, you know? And I love the use of, wrapping I don't know. You know, a lot of people are like, why would you wrap it? Why can't you just be like details?
Yeah, put
You
it
know,
here. Put this crap.
detail. Yeah, and that's partly because of Safari. Said like we're not doing like element extensions. I think we talked about that either on the podcast or a video or something. But what I also like is there's a progressive enhancement thing. If this fails, guess what? Like it's just a details element, like you expect. And
Right.
so,
And you're not
like,
like messing like if this became wildly popular, now there's a bunch of crap floating around the world on details that like forces the hand of web standards in a way that I don't like. And I know that's
right,
debatable, but
they could never have a force attribute
right, cuz
or
some library traipsed on it,
the coolest feature is animate. Did you see that? Did you try
Oh,
the
no. I mean, I clicked it here on the, yeah, but that's pretty classy. A lot of people want
Yeah.
that, and it's animating an arbitrary height too, which is pretty rad.
Yeah, because I don't know, animating a details is not super fun, but this does it. It does it great. So,
Yeah,
like
let's
if
look
you
over.
put animate attribute on the details element, then HTML can't use animate for the rest of its life. And so
Oh, does that
now
work?
that
Is that all it takes?
that's all it takes.
I think
Hold on.
it's just going really fast because it's so. Or does it need additional information?
I don't know. Maybe it needs to save or something, or maybe it's animation. I could be totally wrong.
I don't know. We'll just look.
Yeah.
Class, animate. I don't know. Maybe this is the position of the attribute here that's freaking it out. That would be weird, but I don't know the exact reason. Or maybe there's some CSS that it expects to have if you use that particular thing. I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you. I wasn't prepared to go there, but what I wanted to
No.
show you is another thing, which is like, let's say you expand it. I think there's a world in which you don't necessarily even need the summary anymore because it's like you had the room to show it. You're forcing it open anyway. Maybe you just close it. So if it's open, like you have an app media of that, you could go summary, display none.
Oh
That
yeah,
way,
maybe.
so like, did it run? If it's open, it's just open. And if it's closed, then you get the widget.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And
No.
that's what I thought of is because I'm like, I did this on my own personal website because I have this little biography here. And I was kind of like thinking of before I had this in place, and I guess this is already live, so it's hard to show you the before, is that when the window collapsed, it would have this being the first part in the thing. It was showing my whole bio before it even got to the blog post, and I was like, it's too beefy. I don't like it. So I was like,
Right.
oh, I'm gonna chuck it in this thing, this details that says quick bio, so you can open it if you want to read it. But then as you get bigger, I obviously have room for it, so I just expand it, and it doesn't even look like it's in a details, right?
I like that, and I like the because you're basically like, hey, this content does not need to be in this context, does not need to be fully expanded, but in the broad context, it's fine. It's great. So,
Quick bio, boop, 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 boop.
and all you had to do was do an HTML element, huh? That's all it took.
Yeah, I mean, it's just exactly
A web
this
component.
Details-Utils. And then in my footer down here, I have a script module with one line of code in it. Import it from here. I didn't even pull it locally. I probably should ship it pulled locally so I'm not like hitting some CDN at every page view, but that's kind of what CDNs are for. It's cached all get out, who cares?
Hey, no, I like it. I like it a lot. That's cool.
All right,
So,
that's my whole thing. I just wanted to show that Zach's cool thing and that I actually used it in production because, it's like 3K. It's probably maybe a little much for using it once, but this website is so light. It's like that's about the fanciest thing on it.
well, and you're sort of solving that problem. You didn't pull in a giant framework or anything. It's just you're just using that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. See you around, man.
Thank you. Later, YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that, smash that.
It really makes a difference.
Really makes a difference.